fingers in my hair that's like come hither stare that strips my conscience bare. It's witchcraft, and I've got no defense for it. The heat is too intense for it. What good would common sense for it do? 'Cause it's witchcraft, wicked witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, when you arouse the need in me, my heart says yes indeed in me. Proceed with what you're leading me to. It's such an ancient pitch, but one that I wouldn't switch. 'Cause there's no nicer witch than me. It's witchcraft, that crazy witchcraft. And although I know it's strictly taboo, when you arouse the need in me, my heart says yes indeed in me. Proceed with what you're leading me to. It's such an ancient pitch, but one that I wouldn't switch. 'Cause there's no nicer witch than me. Da-da-da.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Boom.
Welcome. This bell sucks.
Your bell's
Welcome.
in Santa's repair shop. It's getting fixed right now.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. The Heat play tonight. Not a Heat fan, but you know what? I got money on the Heat, so come on, Heat.
You know, you think he got to win tonight. We got home
there's
field,
no such
not home field,
thing.
home court advantage.
Home
We
field,
got
home court. There's no such
weather.
thing
We
as
got
that.
it all.
Ain't no such thing as got it. I want to start the show off by inviting you to the movies. 2 tickets on me if you call in. 888-994-4995 Studio
A.
8. Win 2 tickets to the Movies of Del Rey or Lake Worth. And they have Yogi Berra's show, It Ain't Over, coming out starting Friday. Inside info, nobody knows that yet.
I guess you're going to be there this weekend.
I'll be there this weekend. I got to check it out. I'm a big baseball fan. Talking about baseball,
We got Mr. Baseball coming in today. Mr. Phil Toronto, FLETC, Florida East Coast Travel League. So, coaches, moms and dads, if your kids are on a travel league currently and you are looking for a summer tournament opportunity right here in South Florida, tournament starts August 2nd through 6th, and they are accepting all the travel teams, minimal fee. They're going with the USSSA fee scale, which is ridiculously low. Gives the kids an opportunity to get out there, travel baseball for boys and for girls. But what's even more exciting than that, if you are a local business in the area, they're offering free marketing and advertising opportunities on their website, because for every kid that comes in, there is a parent or 2 or a guardian. They need hotels, they need restaurants, they need activities. We got our marketing lady over there. They need everything fun to do that they don't know even is happening in our neighborhood. So go to their website, FLETL.com. Check out their free opportunities to put your business on their website.
because it's not only teams in Florida, you're allowed to play tournaments from teams from any state in the union.
It's pretty cool.
I used to do it. I used to go take my teams all over the country to play. Josh has done it as well. And it is an experience. You know, you talk about what's going on in our society right now with kids, and I saw a graduation and there was killing in there. You talk about what's going on. Baseball teaches you discipline. Short of the military, it teaches you as a team member how to play together as a group. So these baseball camps, this stuff, right to the heart, right to the heart. I truly, truly believe in this stuff, and I'm excited that Phil is going to join us today to talk a little bit about that too.
What else you got going on today? Good stuff. Movies, baseball, summer happenings.
You want more?
Summer, you know, the school's out. It's summer.
Well, I'm excited to announce that we're going to be doing some more in the Latino market with one of our guests in studio. We're going to be talking about that, and you happen to have bought her product line. We didn't even know.
I know, I got to tell you. And Gloria Stefan looks just like Rita Olam. Is all I can say.
You know, when she walked in,
I tried it the other way, and she's like, nope, Gloria looks like me, just like her.
Good touche.
Right?
Touche, as they say.
Pretty nice.
It's
So
really-
Haley Marguerite, a longtime friend of the studio. I don't even know how we met you. How do we even meet
I
you?
think at a networking event.
Networking.
I think so.
Oh, yes,
met
yes,
you-
at the Networking Beast.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we knew you before that, didn't we?
No, we only met her a couple months ago at that event.
As a
I
matter
can't
of fact,
remember the name, but
The meatball
yeah.
room.
That's
Meatball.
right, the meatball room.
The coordinator of that was here yesterday. He invited us to 16 different networking pieces, but we couldn't make it yesterday. But
He texted us at 7:30 last night. We got people to bring over. I said, sorry, we're home. Like the one night we got out a little bit early this week.
yeah, but he's already back. And we got to meet her
Sorry,
assistant
we
and
got to
stuff
meet
like
you
that.
and your assistant, and you've been on a couple shows that we produce here through the
That's
editor's desk and through our show you've been, and then you introduce us to the lovely Rita. But what I love about Haley, what you do, besides you send people and animals up to the moon, bullying, but the bullying concept, and as we go into summer, kids are out of school. It's good and bad, right? Kids are out of school, so they're not getting their free and reduced lunch because a lot of kids depend on that. But bullying, I don't know whether it increases or decreases when you're home, but it's always something that goes
What
on.
do you mean increases when you're home?
I don't know if there's more bullying because you're home more and there's kids in the neighborhood, and if you're not athletic, then the kids don't play with you, if you're not part of their gaming opportunity. When you're in school, you're hoping you're in that niche of kids, but when you're in home,
I didn't realize that.
I don't know. I want to ask,
Well, let's find out.
let's find out, because you've got a line of books that we're going to talk about, as well as one of your core products for autism.
Sure, that's actually a really good question. So when the summer months when kids get out of school, yes, the bullying issues do go up, especially more in more socioeconomic areas. You will see a increase in violence. You will see an increase in bullying, because there's nothing to do. And so a lot of these homes where a lot of people maybe can't afford to send their kids to school, where are the kids going to be? They're going to be outside. Maybe they're going to be breaking into homes. They're going to be just doing something you wouldn't be so, proud of your son or daughter, or even maybe grandchild or grandson getting involved with. And so when I've met with a lot of these nonprofits, I've told them about some of these programs that I've been wanting to bring on board to their nonprofit, or even summer school activities for summer camps, to kind of alleviate these issues that we're seeing.
I
Think
never
about it.
realized that was even a thing.
Gang violence, not that we have gangs in Florida, except in Hollywood
Well,
on
that was
Memorial Day.
when I grew up. There were gangs, so that
I'm
sort of
kidding.
kept
There are gangs here
straight
as
out.
well, but
Wow.
it's a whole lot of things going on, and
I never realized that. This is like, wow, I'm like.
it's because when you
floored.
don't have structure, as much as kids don't want to go to school, it's a structured environment, and you know what you're getting. And
Yeah,
there may
but what
not
she
always be
just said
good.
makes a whole
So
lot of
there's no
sense.
there's
Nothing
no
to
structure. There's
do.
nothing to do.
And you start doing the bad things because all of a sudden kids get.
What are they going to
icy,
do?
I
Because they're
guess.
kids, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's why you play baseball.
And not just that, and most parents, don't have the luxury of maybe the mom staying home. So when both parents are working, you don't really have all your eyes on the kids. So the kids are going to get into things that are not the best for them. And then in the summer months, when the weather is more hot, the kids are going to be outside, maybe sneaking into cars, like I was saying, sneaking into people's homes. Theft will go up just across the board in every single community. You will see it. Of course, more in the lower income areas, you're going to see it more prevalent. I've, spoken to different cities and different communities across the board, but usually in more lower income, a lot of the pastors and a lot of the church leaders had said we see it more in our communities that are a lot lower income areas.
Because they're not in school. That's amazing. And then the other thing is, because I remember they gave me a library card.
Yeah.
And I said, a what? A library card, because I was a kid. And it says you
Right.
could go to the library. And do what?
Read.
What? Come on, read? I'm going to go to the library to read, really?
Well, this is a low week because it's between school and camp, so a lot of
Right.
people are off. Camps are closed. Starting Monday, you're going to hear Camp Next Door from 9 to 4 every day.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of kids.
And a
We
lot
have
of
to
music.
find another place to go.
You got 3 weeks, a week off, and then 3 more weeks of camp.
I went, going back to the library, I got Curious George. I don't even think they allowed that anymore, right? That's one of those banned
Man
books.
in the Yellow Hat. No, I think Curious George. I don't know. Is
Curious
George
George?
still allowed? I think it is.
So I got a book, and I was so excited because I have responsibility. So I took the book home, and I got into a snowball fight with the kids across the street, and I put the book down, and I lost the book.
Oh, no.
Somebody stole my book. So I had to go upstairs and tell my mom, you know that library card gave me? Yes. Well, I lost the book. You what? I'll never forget her
But
expression.
think about that. Think how huge that was to you at the time.
Yeah, that's
Right?
because
You
I got
lost
nothing to
the library
do. I
book.
can see there's nothing to do syndrome.
But now
here.
you think about life, and imagine that's your biggest problem is I lost the Curious George book for the library.
That devastated me.
I know.
I never went back and got another book from the library. And when I went to NYU, I would stay in the school not to take there's something wrong with me. I wouldn't take books out of the school.
I don't know. You're like a mayonnaise sandwich if you go back to the other show that we
And
did
what
this
was the
morning.
one thing she remembered in that whole show? The mayonnaise sandwich.
Well, Rita wants to know at the end of this show what kind of sandwich she is.
And she's a Cuban sandwich. That's a good
You
question.
have a line of books, Haley, for bullying that we have at the other side of the theater. How many books have you written?
So I have written 4 books total, and the books are under the Charlie Takes Adventure book series.
Elisa, can you just swing one of the cameras over on the books?
Now, I was asked to ask you, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but were you bullied as a kid?
Sure.
Oh, not that one. That's on Haley.
Try the other one. Try the other camera.
Okay.
All right, we'll swap it out then.
Why don't you just bring the book over?
Or you can bring the books over.
Just bring the books over.
Can
Now
do
you
that
got to
too.
make sure that camera's back in play because you moved it. Were you bullied?
good.
Okay, that's fine. That worked. Were you bullied as a kid?
Yeah, so I myself have been bullied, yes, from elementary all the way up till high school. You know, it was very traumatic, very tough time. And during middle school year, those, what is it, like ninth, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, you know, was the worst. And so a lot of middle school girls are just so mean. You know, they're trying to find their place in life. And I guess I was too. And so I would eat my lunch every single day, like a brown paper bag, on the toilet in the bathroom. I would cry.
What? You
I
ate in
talk
the
fast,
bathroom
yeah.
to stay away from people?
I did, yeah. It was very traumatizing.
What?
Yeah, or I would have a rolling backpack, one of those Kipling bags, and the girls would just kick it, you know? And so you only can put up with so much nonsense. And then I just, years later, wanted to be, I guess, the voice, an advocate. So I wanted to have these programs. So if anyone else is going through a similar situation, they would have the tools of how to handle it. Which is why I have.
And you know, that's
Yeah.
devastating. In the bathroom, eating lunch on the toilet.
Yeah.
And I gotta ask Rita, because Latinos have a different way of being bullied.
Right.
And then we'll get to you in a second. But did you hear she sat at the toilet?
I know. It's middle school's tough.
Yeah.
That's horrible. So I want to ask Rita, were you bullied when you were younger?
Yes, and I would say that the majority of all of us were bullied at some time, and it's how you handle it, but also the support of your family has a lot to do with it. Many times, if you're able to come home and you tell your parents about it, how are they teaching you how to handle that? I remember when I was bullied, it was kind of like my fault too, because I started laughing at somebody about what they were wearing. But this person was a little tougher than me. So she put me in my place, and I think like for 2 days, I did not want to go to school. And my mother was like, no, you're going to school. And I was able to, when she approached me, I was able to talk to her and ask for forgiveness, because if not, she was going to beat me up. And I was
Oh my gosh.
So that's what I did. I asked for forgiveness, and I learned a lesson. Don't make fun of other
Don't
people.
bully people.
I've never even thought of that, asking for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I at that moment, I felt I was bullied. But, you know, you think about it, I laughed at the pants she was wearing, and she didn't like it.
So you bullied her and she just paid you back.
Well, I don't like to say I bullied her. I like to say I laughed at her pants.
Okay, well, you bullied her. It's okay. It's okay. There's no judgment here, because we've all done something. Were you ever bullied, Missy,
Me? Yeah.
in school?
Probably mostly by my sister, but yeah.
No, that doesn't count.
Why doesn't it count?
Because siblings are like that. That's what you do. You
Yeah,
punch
everyone,
your
they
brother
used
in
to
the
tease me
head.
that I was fat.
Yeah,
and,
that's nothing, but I
Why
mean
is that
outside of the
nothing? Yeah.
Outside
I was
of
the
the
fat.
house.
Yes, I was the fat
Other
kid.
people.
I was the fat kid
You were
that
the fat
shopped in the Sears Husky department, and I had a lazy eye, so I had to wear an eye patch, and they had my glasses and my braces, and I was the fat kid shopping at Sears. Yeah, so it sticks with you, which is probably why I went into special ed, because those things that you remember, which is why we welcome everyone here at the studio. Because I never want to, everyone, in my book, he always teases me, everyone gets a trophy. If you're trying,
Yeah,
your
but I
level
didn't-
might not be this level.
Yeah, but I didn't know that it was tied into all of this. You know, you learn a lot about people by what they went through. And
I would be the kid that ate 2 lunches in the cafeteria.
But you know, you look at Dawn, and you wouldn't think that she
Beautiful.
had a problem with weight,
Beautiful
right?
woman.
You wouldn't. I wouldn't. In a million years would I think that this is a trigger.
Well, it's because everyone's got their story as to why they are as an adult back from then, right? All those things.
It goes to show you, you think you know somebody, and you really don't know somebody. And I was bullied at one time in my life. I told you about that, and my brother told me how to handle it. I did what he told me to do, and it worked. But the bottom line here is that my cousin Juji was good in sports. And he was a short little guy. And he says, Freddie, you don't want people to bully you. You got to be good in sports, because then everybody wants you on their team.
It's true. I was never good in PE. Remember those field exercises we had to do? The pull-ups? None.
Well, I had to.
The
be-
500-yard dash? Never.
I had to be a catcher and get trampled. I played volleyball and got my face banged with that ball a few times. And then there was that 20-foot rope. Remember that? You used to have to climb the rope. And there was a a grade. I'm afraid of heights. So I told the gym teacher, I says, I can't go up there. You might as well give me the F now. And he says, no, Freddie, you got to go up there. So my cousins came. He says, you don't climb that rope, and we're going to beat you up.
You climbed the rope?
I climbed the rope. But when I got up there, I let go. I'm going to tell you something. I messed up my ankle, and then I had to go catch a game that afternoon. But I'm just saying, I guess bully comes in different forms.
Well, let's talk about your books. We moved the books over to another camera over here.
Where are they?
They're right
Oh,
here.
they're over here. So why don't we move her over here?
Let's talk about your series of books. You have how many in this?
So I have 4 books in my series.
Okay.
Are each one a different story?
Charlie's
are.
Adventures.
So the one closest to me, which is Charlie Takes Adventure, in the navy blue background, that's the first book I ever wrote when I was 11 years old, part of a class project. So that talks about Florida and everything that Florida has to offer, and it's the only one out of the 4 books where the child can be the author illustrator, so make a picture and then the written word. And then we go over to Charlie Takes Adventure to Massachusetts, pretty self-explanatory. So he does go to Massachusetts there. There is an image of Charlie going to a sold-out game, which is the Red Sox versus the Yankees. Okay. And then the next one is Charlie Takes Adventure to New York. That actually, in that book, we have Eli Manning in the book. And it's actually...
Eli Manning?
Yeah, and it was seen on Monday Night Football during halftime.
How'd you get Eli Manning in this book?
How'd you get it on Monday Night Football?
Because Eli was an announcer with his brother.
So it's a long story, but long story short, my parents needed a contractor. The contractor was good friends with Eli Manning's agent.
Of course.
And so the last book that, Dawn, you were holding in your hand, that one came out the end of last year, so that's Charlie Takes Adventure to the Moon. That is the first book of the second series, which is my space series. And that book primarily teaches kids not to bully others, as well as how to eat, live, sleep, breathe on the moon. So on the back cover, like all of the kids are going like on Space City. So like there's a Ferris wheel on there. So the Ferris wheel, if you ever like watch like a documentary from Elon Musk, he actually made a statement and saying how like one day we'll have humans on the moon. So the Ferris wheel is gondola shaped, and so on there is their hotel rooms. So that's where the students or the
ascots.
ascots.
Frank Ruffolo's books.
Say it again.
Got to read Frank's books.
Oh, okay.
Very much similar. And there is life,
that right?
They're showing life on Mars now, and the moon, it's there too.
That's right. My next book will be Mars.
I was going to say that, Haley. I got a thing from NASA that now they have sound. Finally, they made it from Mars. And because of the atmosphere, the way it is, they compare the bell, and the frequency is a lot less because of what's there. And the words Haley came out.
Is that right?
Look it up.
Okay.
Is that what you sent me this morning?
Yeah.
Well, what's the message on the books? How are these anti-bullying books?
So each book has a different message and whatnot. So the 4th book, which is in your hand, that is the one that stresses more upon anti-bullying. I have 17 programs that do go with every single one of the books, but that's the one that touches majority on not to bully others.
17 programs that go with these books?
That's correct.
And one of the programs you have with you?
I do.
All right, so before we get into that program, while you read your book, we're going to go to commercial break. Give
This
Freddie
is
some
freaking
time.
unbelievable.
Freddie's getting the glasses. He's going to read. More to come on the other side of this commercial break. We're going to talk to Rita and Haley Marguerite and find out, while we go into summer, how to keep your kids from being bullied. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Amp Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Mellberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Mellberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
The easiest way to sell your home is to call the number on your screen right now. We'll buy any home in any condition. And the more it's worth, the more you can get. Plus, no real estate fees or commissions means more money in your pocket. And no fix-up costs either. Sell any home in any condition, sometimes within days. Sell your home fast. Call right now for absolutely free information.
Amp Media Productions is excited to announce our expansion into North Miami. With our experienced team of radio and TV professionals, we are dedicated to bringing North Miami the highest quality audio and visual production services. Whether you need radio or television commercials, podcasts, music videos, or audio and visual storytelling, we can provide the solutions to help you reach your goals. Our team is reliable, innovative, and creative, and we're ready to help you develop the perfect product. With our competitive rates and personalized service, you can trust that your project is in the best hands. Contact us today to get started on your project. 866-224-5422.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies. Now, Boca and Delray Beach have their own oldie station. Catch us on 95.3 FM. It's the greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s. On South Florida's Good Time Oldies, 95.3 FM.
Give me the mozzarella. 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 Give me the mozzarella.
Pizza Rica, tasty rich and pizza at 2001 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard or contact 561-826-8663.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
That's the Philadelphia Eagles. Has nothing to do with the Heat.
Nothing. We need a Heat song tonight, 8:30 Eastern Time. Check it out. Heat versus the Nuggets, all the way from Miami Arena. I looked for tickets.
How much?
They were not as expensive as the Panther tickets, but pretty close. They were like $563 for the 400s, and the Panthers are upwards of $600. A ticket.
$563 for one ticket?
One.
Well, if you call
That's without
Dawn,
service
maybe
charges.
did you buy any?
No.
Why not?
Who has that kind of money? I guess only those that have that kind of money.
There is no money.
Did you
when
go?
It comes.
You going?
I'm not a Heat fan. Now, I'm going to tell you, if the Heat were playing the Knicks, I would spend the $563.
You would go?
I'm never going to see that again in my life.
I know. I told Chuck to go.
You should go.
I
Take
told
his son.
I told him to go Friday. My son's heading to PR this weekend, back to your homeland.
If you call in, we'll give you 2 tickets to the movies at Del Rey. What's the number?
888-994-4 and 995 Studio A. Check that out. Give us a call. We got 2 tickets for the movies of Delray or Lake Worth. Take a date. Have some fun.
And Mr. Baseball is on his way in. He says don't leave because he wants to write a book.
All right. So, Haley, I know we talked about your books, and these are unbelievable. I have to check out the New York book.
That's unbelievable.
And the Moon book.
Eli Manning piece is hilarious.
And you've got programs that go with it. And one in particular we were going to talk about was for bring autism awareness.
Correct. Spreading autism awareness, spreading peace through planting
Put your mic
sunflowers.
closer.
Oh, sorry.
And which book does that go with?
So how the programs work, you get 1 book per program box. You can pick any of the 4 books.
Okay.
So it really kind of depends. We do have some programs now that go with certain books only, but at the end of the day, if the client wants the New York book over the Massachusetts book, they're going to get the New York book. So it really doesn't matter. So in the box, now the boxes are good for 6 students. And so they get all of the materials, ingredients that you might need to do this program effectively. And so we have planting soil for 6 students with a little Charlie on it because Charlie is the main character in Penguin. We have all my other anti-bullying programs in here. So if they like that program, they want to do more programs. We do have instructions step by step of how to do the Planting Sunflowers for Peace and Autism Awareness program. And then we have the sunflower seeds in here. And there are extras should the students want to plant more at home with their parents. And then we have the spoons. So the spoons are for the soil. So they put the soil
But
into
why
the pot.
planting sunflowers for autism? Tell me the link.
So sunflowers make you smile. Okay. And so when you see a sunflower, it makes you, smile, puts a smile on your face. And then we just wanted to draw in that sort of correlation. And then it's, spring, summertime, and it's a great time to get involved, with the kids to kind of also pay it forward. So at the end of this activity only, the students, they now have to pick someone special in their life to give the sunflower to, like the sunflower pot. And it's so cute. I have to tell you, 9 out of 10 times across the board, these little boys, when you ask them, so who do you want to give the sunflower to? I'm giving this to my mom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, stop, you're so cute. It's adorable. And they can pick anyone. So they'll also have these little plant labels on here, which are these neon colors. We have red, blue, yellow, pink. And so on here with a permanent marker, they might do like a positive words of affirmation. You make me smile. You are smart. So then when the person on the receiving end gets it, you're going to smile. And the reason why we have autism, because we don't have a lot of programs for autism, and we want kids to understand what it's like if you are different. And then being different, unfortunately, those kids sometimes get bullied. So it does fall under the tier of bullying.
I can't imagine raising kids now, what it's
scary.
like. What it's like for your grandkids. And
Well, the numbers are down. We stopped producing children. We talked about that yesterday. Numbers are way down. None of these guys want to have children in this environment.
Yeah, and that's true too. It's really sad.
So many things going on. How do people get in touch with you for your books and your program?
Sure. So if anyone wants to get in touch with me for the programs, you can call me directly, which is area code 561, because I am Palm Beach County. So it's 561-302-8520. If you feel like you're not really a social person and you don't really want to pick up the phone, you can also text me. I will get back to you ASAP. But you're like, oh my gosh, that's not me either. No problem. You can also send me an email. So that is Haley, that is spelled Haley, at charlietakesanadventure.com. So charlietakesanadventure.com is the name of my book series, and that's how you can reach me.
These are so great.
That book is amazing.
Thank you
and
so
Charlie
much.
happens to be a penguin, which is so cute.
He is. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Well,
yeah, so that book, we do cover Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
I see that.
So everyone's holiday is celebrated, so everyone's happy.
Yeah, but you celebrated with Ellis Island and
That's right.
Meadowlands.
Look,
and
Rockefeller Center.
Rockefeller
There's
Center.
That's right.
amazing. This
Thank
is
you.
beautiful.
Thank
The
you so
illustrations
much.
are beautiful too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I
Seriously.
want you to do the introductions to Rita because you were here on editor's desk and
Yeah.
you were so excited. You said, I've got this really great woman I want you to meet. And she's like, Freddie's going to love her. You got to bring her in. So Rita has
right.
been playing.
Guilty.
We played phone tag for about a week, I think.
Yes.
And
yes,
then we
did.
had the pleasure of connecting and wow, what a powerhouse you are.
Thank you.
Tell us, you want to introduce her and how you have this connection?
Sure. So Rita and I have been longtime friends for about 12 years or so, I think you would say. And I was actually working over at Salvatore Ferragamo. It's an Italian luxury runway company up in Palm Beach Gardens, and Rita was one of the clients there. And so Rita and I became friends, but I think it was around the time you're opening up your business
Yes,
for
Sexy
Sexy
Lips.
Lips Cosmetics, and she was looking for someone, to really help in terms of marketing the brand. And I said, I have some experience doing that, so she wanted me to help with that. So,
That happened, and you were amazing at it. Thank you so much.
oh, of course.
And then with this time, she also started dating one of my sons.
Yeah. He's very handsome.
And we hit it off. It was
Yeah.
perfect. And the relationship has always stayed in a very positive way.
That's true, yeah.
She always keeps me now, even now up to date, she'll look at my social media and say, hey, Rita, you got to do this. Because
Like today.
I need someone like her always to take care of it. So, and I'm very grateful. In many of the people that I meet, different businesses and all that, I also introduce Haley because she's a very talented person, marketing, helping children. So I'm very grateful for your friendship, and I'm also very grateful that you introduced me to Dawn and Freddie.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
I could not have picked a better person to be interviewed.
You were right. She's amazing. But Rita, you've done so many things in your life. And the funniest thing is I have your Sexy Lips at home.
I can't believe that's a great story.
And you knew exactly who I bought it from. I remember meeting her in Starbucks. And I think I had just started working with you. So like 7 years ago. And she's like, I've got this great lip stain. It doesn't come off. I met her at Starbucks. This cute
That's
little
the
black
thing
bag.
that doesn't come off.
Yes.
Oh, I remember that.
Cute little black bag, and then she had like an addition to it. She added some a little pink glitter pot, which now I use for my eyes. So it was very versatile. But the power of Red Lips, the power of an empowered woman, and that other group we work with Yvonne Haas and what is stilettos
Stiletto.
and high heels or something.
Yes.
The power of red lipstick, and it used to be you only would wear red lipstick on a Saturday night, and if you even dared to wear red lipstick. But now it becomes a staple for empowered women. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's the beauty of it is the color, of course. We know that the color of red is passion, and it is an attractive color, and it's something that when you see something red, you look at it. And wearing the red lipsticks and a woman speaking, standing up in a podium, being a teacher, going to a networking event, even being on TV, her message is important. When people speak from the heart and passionate, it's because they believe in what they're saying. So the red lipstick is a symbol of listen and look to what's coming out of my mouth, because it's connected from my heart and my brain. And everything that's going on here is going to be expressed through my lips. And they should always be beautiful. They should always be well kept, and you should never have to drink something and leave the lipstick mark on your
like my cup at the moment.
I gotta tell
know.
you, you're brilliant. That
Right?
is so brilliant. Because that thing, the clean is a pain in the...
It is. And the funny story is the way that Sexy Lips came about. One day my husband said to me, Rita, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? And my kids were little. And I said to him, I would create a lipstick that doesn't come off. So when I kiss Nikki and Frankie before they go to school, they're not wiping it off. Mom, you left a mark, And he said to me, well, go ahead and do it. And I was able to go through the steps, met amazing people, and was able to create the lipstick that wouldn't come off, but also cancer patients, fibromyalgia could use them because it has no alcohol, no parabens. I don't want to promote the lipstick, but I do want to say what it was, the intention of creating something that was empowering for a woman, that everybody could wear it. And it happened, it became a reality. I had a lot of fun with the marketing and the social media. It was an amazing time. I'm very grateful for my husband because he made it happen. And then one day, I had one of our masseuses that said, Rita, my mother wants to meet you. I met Luz in a Starbucks.
Back at
And we
Starbucks.
sat at, yes, I guess she loves that place.
She did all her business.
So we're sitting, and she tells me, you know, I'm really impressed with your lipstick, and I can do this with it, and I love this and this and this and that, and I'm interested in buying your company. I said to her, I have no interest in selling it. But then as I started listening to her, she became so passionate, and I was like, this woman can take this to the next level. And I said to her, let's do it.
Wow.
And she bought it, and she's grown the company.
So it still exists.
It still exists.
How the hell do
Yeah.
you get it off your lips?
It comes with a special remover you have to take it off with.
A special remover?
Yes.
A special
You mean you could
remover.
wear this nonstop?
So I remember, I put it on for the day, you go home, you work out, you shower,
It's
but
still
your
on.
lipstick's still on. So it's not like it even comes off in the shower. You have to use this special remover.
But that's ingenious.
I know.
And does it come in other colors besides red?
Yes, yes. There's pink, there's red, there's nude, there's burgundy. Luz Mia, I only launched 3 colors. And Luz Mia has launched a lot more.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Impressive. That's cool.
That must be something for you to see its growth. and
I'm so
that
proud of
you-
her.
I can imagine that
I'm
you had
so proud of her.
everything to do with it.
For me, years after, I mean, it's the only lipstick that I use. But I travel a lot, and everywhere that I go, when people compliment me on the lipstick, I'm just so proud to be able to say, oh, you can still get this on the website. You know, it's still out there. Somebody took it and kept growing it. So I'm impressed
amazing.
with her. Yeah.
That's cool.
She's
And besides Sexy Lips, you're also a diabetes educator, but you're not doing that anymore at Holy Cross, but you've taken this international. Health and
Yes.
wellness is really your passion.
Yes, for many years, and I love it. And I worked in Holy Cross Hospital as a lifestyle coach for the diabetes prevention program, which is a program that was and is still certified through the CDC. We were able to launch a program, which is a 1-year program with the participants. We talked about nutrition, fitness, and also stress management. But when I put my personal point into it, it was more about the meditation and the loving yourself first. You love yourself first, you know your body, then you're able to say, I am worth eating right. It is worth for me to exercise. It is worth for me to be selective on what activities I do and how do I do them, because it depends on how they affect me for my health. So I loved that program, was doing it for over 3 years. And at the same time, I started serving as a consul ambassador for Opportunity International, which is a nonprofit organization. And what they are most emphasized in is in eradicating extreme poverty. And because they work in so many different countries, I said, let me launch the diabetes prevention program through Opportunity International at these different countries. And the one country that they said to me they wanted me to launch it at was in Colombia. So we did Barranquilla and Cartagena. And it was amazing. For 1 year, you know, through Zoom meetings, they were able to do the program. And I was lucky enough, because I am part of Opportunity International, and anybody who wants to can be part of Opportunity International. I was able to go in what they call their insight trips, which you actually go and you meet the families that you are helping. And I was able to meet the group of the ladies who were part of the diabetes prevention program. And they were fascinating. I mean, I thought I was gonna go there to continue teaching them and giving them advice, and they were ready for me when I got there. They were dressed up as, you know, as pretty as they can dressed up. Look at how much I lost weight. Look at how good I look. I'm teaching my family how to eat right. It was amazing. It was a success.
You're changing lives internationally. You talk all the time where you think your diabetes, right? Food, culture, all the things you ate growing up, not having money. How far could 1 pound of steak go? how are you working with that? You're looking at lower socioeconomic, right? What are they doing for foods, and how are they affording better lifestyle?
And that was that's what we thought would have been the challenge at the beginning. But it happens to be that because they sometimes have to grow their own food, they're actually growing even healthier types of food. We don't encourage sweets or candy at all, which is something that for them it costs money, so they're not able to get. So it wasn't the challenging part with the Latin population is the rice.
That's what he says all the
Voila.
time.
It's the rice, is the staying to the portion control. Us Latinos are not used to portion control. What
We
do you
don't know
mean
what
I
that
can't
is.
have that?
Yeah, we don't know what that is.
You know,
Give me more.
Does it stem from the mentality that the majority of the Cubans who came here to the United States came from a country where things were rationalized, and now they landed and it's like I can have more. But when it comes to the foods that you're eating, portion control is very important. Selecting the right foods and the portion control is very important. We were able to give them the tools to learn how to do portion control without having measuring cups or anything, using your hands. You know, the size of the steak, you know, the amount of the rice that you should have, the amount of oil that you should put. Using your hands, they were able to allocate what were the portions that they were able to eat.
That's amazing. So protein is the size of the palm of your hand.
The size of the palm of your
Rice is the fist?
The fist.
And then the oil, I'd never seen that.
Yeah, this little much of oil.
It's kind of cool.
It's true. And now, you know, they have cauliflower rice.
Yes.
They have brown rice that you boil that has nothing in it, and the carb intake is low. You know, it's about the education. It's about, is that Phil? Yeah. Phil, come sit over here. It's about the education. It's about the delivery of the education. And Latinos, they love their food. I used to have steak and rice and beans and then a banana, which is even worse for a diabetic. I had the double pound. But I didn't know any better. I didn't know that there was a right, wrong, or indifferent. I didn't have. And when I grew up in Manhattan or the Bronx, I couldn't grow food. Where was I going to grow it? On a fire escape? There was no place to grow. So you had to learn how to deal with your environment as well. But that's a fantastic, fantastic program here because diabetes is very bad among Latinos. Yeah. And the the language barrier becomes, but these are excuses now because there's other ways of overcoming this. So.
It's just about the education.
Yes. And the season, sometimes, you know, they say, oh, but the food doesn't taste as good. There's some delicious herbs out there that you can blend together and create delicious spices and seasoning for the food.
True that.
So it's all about here. You know,
Your mindset.
change your mindset. What is it that you really want to do? Do you want to live a healthy, long life, or do you want to be sick all the time? And pills are not the answer.
No.
True that.
And I got to tell you, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here because
Thank you.
he's here, and he's the gentleman that does this. And one of the reasons that I stayed in coaching past when my kids finished and everything else, and they stayed, was because we wanted to teach our youth, our players, eating correctly. You know, I was coaching football and baseball, and I had these big, heavy-set kids. And it was fun and games because they're still young, but I started to see more diabetes among youth. I started to see unhealthiness. And then you want your kid to eat something they shouldn't have, go to school and learn. And that's not the recipe to learning. You can't go to school. And here comes the bullying because all of a sudden you're turning into a big giant watermelon because you're eating the wrong things. You're not doing well in school. You're getting picked on. And then you want your kid to be a straight A student. It's just that formula doesn't work. It doesn't exist. It's illusionary. So I'm glad that you're here. And I'm glad that you're here because if I could ever talk to parents and tell them, listen, they got to eat right. And here's the way to do this thing in order to play right. It was a big part of the program that I was involved with. You know, kids used to bring me their report cards, and I know that you said that the other day. I was happy to hear that because to play for me, you had to do well in school. I got all the stories about being bullied. I used to go to schools with my coaches to end that nonsense, but we had a way of doing it with the principals. Can't do that today. Can't treat it the same way today because you get arrested.
Yeah.
Sorry to tell you. It is what it is. But I'm glad that maybe we can filter this down to the youth of today so we can get started early on these kids and put them on the right path to eating correctly, because it all starts with you. And that's what I told Elaine yesterday.
All right, let's take a commercial break. More to come on the other side of this 1 o'clock hour. We'll talk about the International Flair, Opportunity International, and all the messages that go with it.
Stuff.
I know.
A lot of stuff.
More to come. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call, because the best prices are not online. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Call today and get the best price on your next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
Would you like to hear better for as little as 10 cents a day? Now you can with the all-new Audien hearing aids. The average hearing aid lasts about 3 years. Ours, at only $99 a pair, means you're paying as little as 10 cents a day to hear better. And to make things even better, we'll give you a 45-day money-back guarantee. Skip the doctor and get hearing aids delivered straight to your door. We've eliminated all the middlemen to offer you a factory direct price of only $99 a pair. Join over 300,000 people just like you who took advantage of our 45-day trial offer. Now you can hear better too for just 10 cents a day. Call now and order your $99 pair of Audien hearing aids with a 45-day money-back guarantee. Plus, get free 3 to 5 day shipping.
800-259-1328. 800-259-1328. 800-259-1328. That's 800-259-1328.
Todo Bello Balloons is a business that was born out of a passion for creating unique and beautiful balloon designs, including balloon bouquets, balloon arches, balloon columns, and more. We specialize in creating unique and beautiful balloon designs that bring your dreams into reality. We believe that balloons have the power to bring people together and create lasting memories, and we are honored to be part of that experience. Contact us and we will bring happiness to your celebrations with our balloons.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
So, how many of you guys like to see yourselves on TV, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook? How many of you guys watch the Bat Boys and all of a sudden say, man, that would be cool to be interviewed by them? Well, kids of all ages, we're going to have that just for you. We are going to bring the experience of baseball the way the pros play it today, right here into South Florida with the Florida East Coast Travel League. You're going to be interviewed, you're going to have press conferences, we're going to do home run derbies. We're going to keep the fun and put the fun back into baseball right here in South Florida. That is our mission, that is our goals, to make you the star.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Harness, Director of League and Tournament Operations for Florida East Coast Travel League. We're so happy that you're thinking about joining the FLETL family, and we look forward to showing you the difference we're hoping to make in South Florida. We're both passionate about youth sports and hoping to give back to the local community through a variety of different ways. We hope each of you come out and see the difference that we're trying to make. You can follow us on FLETL on all of our socials, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as our website, www.fletl.com.
Coming this August 2nd through the 6th, we are going to have our first inaugural season as well as our first tournament right here in South Florida in Boynton Beach, our home base for Florida East Coast Travel League. Our first tournament, and all of our tournaments for that matter, are going to be based around giving back to the community as well. Our USSSA sanctioning and our franchise tag, as well as our partnership with them, is all about giving back to the community. It's all about giving back to kids, youth sports, youth baseball, and the entire youth baseball community. Our first tournament of August 2nd through the 6th will be a back-to-school bash, to where we're going to be giving out school supplies to underprivileged children and people that have it of need or need any kind of help for the school year coming up. Further along, once we do our October tournament, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We want to give back to survivors and to people that have had the unfortunate fight. And every one of the things that we're going to be doing has a theme to it. Every time we do something within the community, we're going to be giving back to our local community, to charities, and to the kids. Well, Chelsea, it's not the bottom of the 6th. It's not the end of the game. It's we'll see you on the field the next time. How are you going to see us?
You can see us on all of our socials at FLETL or on our website at www.fletl.com. We'll see y'all soon.
And we're back, and
You
this
should have
bell
your
is-
bell by tomorrow. Santa's going to send it back.
gonna be in
The
revolt.
elves are sending your bell back by tomorrow.
Nice spot.
Josh did a great job, but before we head over to Phil, I didn't realize Opportunity International was something that people can join.
Yes.
So what does that mean?
So Opportunity International is a nonprofit organization, and what they do is they help extreme poverty families in extreme poverty in different countries to get out of the poverty. And they do so by lending money, microfinancing, by training and teaching them how to become business people. So for example, in Colombia, when I went to Cartagena and also to Barranquilla, we were able to meet the families that the donations have been helping. And it is the locations, it is the lands where the government do not even go in there, the land where they throw the trash and all that stuff. This is where these people live. And they get wood and everything. They make their houses out of wood, out of cardboard. I mean, it's unimaginable that people would live there. There's not even any water, running water or nothing. So this is where Opportunity International goes in and teaches the family how to save money. Now, before I went on the trip, and they said to me, we lend them money, but they have to learn how to save money. I was like, how can they save anything? They don't have anything. Well, the little kids, starting at 7 years old, 12 years old, they have to do their chores before they go to school. So they have to go out there and they have to go collect water. Some of the little ones go collect the plastic bottles. And everything that they do is to help the family and to help the community. So as they go saving the plastic bottles and they collect them, and some of the families cook for other families, or they they try to run errands for them, or they clean the houses and all that. They're making money. Now that money, once a week, there is a program that they have even implemented in schools for 4th grader, 5th, 6th, 7th, and it was amazing to see these kids run a savings meeting, which some adults don't even know how to handle the money here in the United States. So what they do is everybody comes in and saves money into this box. It's a beautiful procedure. I would take too long to explain it. But they save money. Once that money is collected, let's say in 3 months, that amount of money, when it's opened up, everybody who put in money, there's somebody keeps accounting of it, they get the money, or they can select to give that money to somebody in the community who needs it. Maybe somebody needs surgery, somebody needs a floor in their house. They use the money like that. But with that money that they take out, now they have the funds to be able to ask Opportunity International for a loan. See, we don't go in there and give the money. We're able to teach you how to save money. So when you have enough money and you know how to handle it through training, then now you can go to Opportunity International and ask for a loan, $20, $50, $100. And you start with your $20 loan and you pay it back with interest.
Wow.
And with that money, you might buy seeds. You might start learning how to do a fish farm.
For $20.
For $20. For $20.
It's not the same as here, where McDonald's hamburger costs you $20.
Yeah, you go to Delray, hamburger's $20.
For example, for the program that they have with the microfinancing, every dollar that you donate is equivalent to $10. So a family will get like $10 to help. And the way that it works is I donate, let's say I come and I get a loan for $20. I start my business. Then now I pay it back. And now I go, for example, in some of these communities, they taught the women how to sew the uniforms for the kids. Somebody else started first a daycare that turned it into a school through getting different loans, paying back a smaller loan, getting a larger loan. They were able to get the daycare into now becoming a school.
That's amazing.
Now the other parents learn how to sew, so now they go to Opportunity International, they get the money, they buy a sewing machine and material and start making the uniforms.
And you're helping bring clean access to water also.
Absolutely. So what Opportunity International does is they hire the engineer to do the whole design, and then they go to the community and they teach the community and train them and guide them on what to do. They have to do the work. You need to make your community a better community. So the people that move away from that startup community and move to another, they come and they give back. So one of the times that we went there, and we were greeted by many of the different families. There was a family that had been doing this, was part of Opportunity for like 6 years. They started cooking, baking and cooking. And then they went into sewing, but sewing drapes and for the houses and all that. And then the guy got an idea of, let me get a car, let me start doing tours. So now they have 3 cars. They do tours around Colombia. And he's now teaching the underdeveloped families how to do what he did. So everybody who gets touched in Opportunity International gives back.
Isn't it so interesting? It's a whole different culture, because here kids need money and they go to a food delivery company. I'm going to deliver food for a few days or a few weeks, and I'm going to get extra
DoorDash
money in my pocket, right? That's what we were told yesterday. Here you're actually learning skills, but the money's differential. $20, $50 to start a business. A tank of gas here costs $50.
No, and they invest the difference there. They actually, I can see people buying crops as long as the weather cooperates, and all of a sudden you pay back your loan and it doubles up your money, and you just keep going. And not to mention you get to feed yourself, because some of that is going to go to you as well.
And in a much smaller scale, of course. But do you remember here when COVID happened, everybody was on lockdown? It was, I don't know how to say this politically correct, But it was okay to stay home because I can't go to work, you know? I have to stay home. Over there, what the women did in these communities that they have mud for floors and everything, one of them decided that with a mask on and everything, I need to go out and I need to make money. She started going to people's houses, washing their hair, settling their hair, cutting their hair, doing manicures, doing pedicures. So she ended up making some money, went to Opportunity International. They gave her a loan, so she bought blow dryers, hair brushers, the clips, and everything. Another lady who was loved art. She was always very proud and talked very highly of her teacher because her teacher told her, you're in Colombia, you're in a place with so much nature. Go out to the woods and see what you can create from nature. So she would do a lot of woodwork. She started doing woodwork, and then she started selling it to her family and her friends, but she wasn't making any money. So she heard about Opportunity International, approached Opportunity International, and they taught her what the value of her work was, the value of her waking up in the morning, going out in the woods, having to deal with animals, being out in the sun, her value of the time she put into creating it. And then she said, I learned how to price my product because Opportunity International taught me how to be a businesswoman.
All right, did you ever bring sexy lips to Colombia?
The women there are beautiful. No matter.
Can you imagine giving them?
Oh my God.
Your sexy lips, what that would do for them? I mean, not even a full size.
You know
maybe
why?
You can make like little ones.
You inspired me. We're going to do that next time.
Because there's nothing like, stepping into
It
your
doesn't rub
power.
off.
It doesn't come off, right? So the heat of Colombia, it's going to
You're
stay
right.
on.
Yes, yes.
So maybe you can do like little small ones and just say, you know what? I'm proud of you. Look what you did. You're going to see them light up. That can be like a whole nother
Luz,
level.
you heard Don. You got to give.
Luz, I'm going to call you. But how great would that be?
Yes.
I'm speechless.
But it's pretty cool because everything you're doing now is so international. And when we met Phil, it was all about the international baseball. You're now doing more U.S. baseball.
Yeah.
But at the time, you were never in town.
No.
So
I've
it's
been
really
everywhere.
nice because I would bet there's some really very skilled athletes where
I think
you
you're right,
are
Dawn.
that
Yeah.
maybe are untapped.
Yeah. I've actually represented a couple of Colombian players over the last few years. Donovan Solano, he was with San Francisco Giants. Now he is with, I believe he's with Cleveland now. But and then his brother, Jonathan Solano, both came from Colombia. So,
I think that the major league level, Latino players are the #1 number of players, isn't it? Isn't Latin?
Oh, it's definitely grown, yeah.
It's grown.
International market
Yeah.
between the Bahamas, Venezuela, Colombia, Dominican Republic. It's huge. I mean, some of the best players, David Ortiz, Lindor.
The big contract, the big money contracts are
Yeah.
huge, and they're going towards us. So it
Did your
wouldn't
boys ever
surprise
play-
me.
Did your boys ever play baseball?
No, they played, they were into martial arts, basketball, and one of them played lacrosse? Lacrosse.
Yeah, lacrosse.
I had a neighbor who was Aaron's age growing up, and his whole life was travel baseball. And he knew, little kid, I mean, little, he only wanted to go into the majors. And this was his whole focus in life. And it was every weekend, every day. And I don't think he got to that level, but now his son, I see on social media, his son's now playing baseball, Little League, every day. And it's a culture, it's a way of life.
It's a grind. It's a
It's a
grind.
grind.
I tell my professional players, I tell my kids every day, it's a grind. Baseball, any athletics, it's a grind.
But you know the great thing about athletics and sports as a team sport, there's no bullying. If you've got the right coach, there's no bullying, right? It's acceptance because it's a team. Except if you watch Ted Lasso where there's those, those special players. But other than that, but when you're growing up, you want to be part of something, right? You can be in the gangs in the Bronx or you can be part of baseball. You got to get the kids off the street. You remember what he used to tell us, Jackson said, I got to get out from under the tree.
The secret is to get them to want to play, because a lot of times kids are playing because their parents want them to
Well,
play.
Travel League at that level, right? You got to
Yeah.
be that good.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to listen to the ladies on my way in, and And, bullying is real. I have 2 boys myself, 11-year-old and a 7-year-old, and I'm always constantly picking them up to tell them what they can be and whatever they want to be, just shoot for it. My biggest thing has been, I think bullying not only is with children, but it's with adults as well, truthfully. Throughout my entire process of what I've been doing for my give back programs with Florida East Coast and the project that I'm doing at the Little League where I grew up, I've taken a lot of heat from people that are just unfortunately not looking at what's better for the community, how I'm looking to give back, how my organization's looking to give back. And they're bullying me, and I'm an adult. So bullying doesn't stop. It goes from a young age all the way up. And we wonder where some of these kids get it, because if the parents are doing it, there you go.
Kids are going to learn it.
100%.
Kids are going to learn
Very
it.
true.
Yeah. Kids are going to learn
weird.
the bad behavior. And it's funny because when I was coaching Little League, kids wanted to play for me. And when a kid wants to play for you, it's a whole different atmosphere than when a kid is told to play for you. And what happened was they had to create, I wouldn't coach if they didn't do something about the parents. And they made the parents, they put the parents to the side and they made them take a course, which I think Little League even said, no, you can't do that. And we did it anyway because it became outrageous what parents, it became so competitive that I got written up in newspapers because I played, I knew the angles of the sports. I knew the kids used to tell me about the kids. And one day, it was this kid that I knew, and he would throw hard. And I said, there's something wrong here. So I went out and I measured home plate, and it was off. It was way off. So when I moved it back, the kid was normal. Right. And we blew him up. So they wrote me up that, well, how can you do that? Well, what was I going to do? I was going to let this kid pitch at a closer distance? And he threw BBs, he threw hard. But it goes to show you it's not about me winning. It was about giving everybody, including the kid. And I love the kid. The kid grew up playing for me on the travel team. And I love the kid, but I wanted to be fair to my players as well. I'm not saying that he was better or worse. I just wanted to be fair.
Your friend that came in that retired from the police force.
Yes.
He was the coach with you on Little League?
He was a coach with me on football.
Football, okay.
The kid you met, Mata, got to play for the Phillies. A cup of coffee with the Phillies, and he had Tommy John surgery, and that was the end of that. And Mata was the captain of my Little League team. I'll never forget the time he was taking out that catcher. He got slammed, and he couldn't finish that series. And he came back in the championship game, and we won. And Mata went on to play in Australia, which I didn't even know had a freaking league. And they're big. It's big. And he ended up playing in Tampa with the Philadelphia Phillies. You met him.
Yep.
It was fun. It was good. So there's a lot to be learned, a lot of different ways of attacking this thing with bullies. And it's true. Parents, when they think that you're doing something that they are not able to do, even though they are, I don't think they can, they're going to pick on you. And they're going to do things to try to stop you from doing something instead of learning from you and maybe saying, you know something? I want to be like Phil. I want to be this hero to my kids, because kids will play for their parents. Believe it or not, they will do everything for their parents.
When I started to do these projects, my first thought was never to be, and I appreciate you saying that, but never to be a hero. It's just something that I never forgot where I came from and how hard I had to work to get to where I am. And to me, it was just about making something better than I felt needed to be better now, or needed to a little bit of a change or an uplift, so people would understand the game is still good and it's still pure. And when we had the lockout years ago, people turned their back on baseball for a while. So I've always been a passionate person about the game and how I feel about it, how I coached it, how I played it, and how I do what I do now for a living. And when I decided to do this, I didn't want to be a hero. I wanted to be somebody who was giving back to where I got my start. And all of a sudden, I watched and, had a lot of supporters, don't get me wrong, and a lot of people who have really,
pushed for me as well and fought with me alongside with me. But I've had a lot of people that have just deliberately are just trying to ruin it for kids, and it just makes zero sense to me. And people that have kids in the league or grandchildren in the league that are fighting me on this. And I'm like, this is for your grandson. This is for your granddaughter. I'm not getting anything out of this. If COVID hit again tomorrow and I did that place would be shut down. Why? Just like you said, couldn't go outside. So if COVID hit tomorrow and I put all my efforts into this and we shut down, what do I have? I'm taking just as much as a risk as anybody else would in life, but I'm doing it because I believe in it.
I gotta tell you, my son Freddie was the athlete in the house. Not that Gio was bad, Gio just didn't want to play for whatever reason. So Freddie got to go to play up in Boston, Massachusetts for a college. He went to play football. And Freddie was not a starter. Freddie was a short guy. He was
Join the club.
And he was a corner. He was a corner. And Freddie got into one game. So he calls me because for some reason I was able to pick up the games by going through various companies. And I could see it. It was hard. It was hazy. It was horrible. And I said to him, do me a favor. Put your foot on the field. And he did it. And he says, why? He says, because you're the first Santori to ever play at the college level. That's what I told him. And he got in one game. And he intercepted the pass in this one game. And he never got to play another game. And he graduated and everything else. He brought me the jersey and the football, which I have in my house. It's full of mud, and I have it. And he says, Dad, I want to give you this because you were there for me when I played Little League, when I played Pee Wee football. You were there. And it doesn't matter that I didn't grow up to be in the NFL. It made me a better man, right? So Freddie bought a jersey from Aaron Rodgers, an Aaron Rodgers Jet jersey. And I went to his house, and he gives me this jersey. Now, he's giving me jerseys, right? Which I have hung in my closet. I don't know if I'm ever going to wear it because it's not the jersey. It's just that you are a hero. You don't need to ask. You are a hero to kids, to your kids. You just got to remember. You know how you never forgot? Wait till your kids are 30, man, and they come back and says, Dad, you remember when? That's when all you're doing right now comes back to you.
That's what Florida East Coast is all about. I want these kids to have an experience like the pros do today. The interviews, the press conferences, you and Dawn coming out there and talking to these kids about how their experience is going. We're in a world of social media now. We were just talking about something with the Bat Boys who are part of my organization as well. And these kids watch that stuff. I want them to feel the same way that the pros feel when they get to a playoff and when they get to the field and when a reporter's coming up to them and asking them questions. That's a memory they will never forget. And for me, that's worth everything.
Let's get some new mic flags that say FLETL.
We could do that. The bottom line here is, remember when we started the Kids Television Network?
Yes.
And I said to you, I want to run a kids TV channel with children. Let them run the channel. I mean, we'll supervise the cameras and all that so they don't get busted. But I always wanted to do that. So my baseball and football teams, they govern themselves. My son will tell you a story. I had to pull him out of the game as a pitcher. And he takes the baseball, he throws it into the outfield. So he got suspended for 2 games, right? One for him, one for me. So he came back and he told the team he apologized for losing his mind. And he's going to take that 2-game suspension and he's going to add another suspension because he served another suspension for the team. And this is the stuff that you teach your kids if you do it the right way. And this, my friend, is the beginning to the right way. It's the first step in that direction. A firm believer, firm believer, all in.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, more with our guests on this Wisdom Wednesday, Baseball Wednesday. And Curly over there, your next sport you're going to start interviewing on. Look at her.
Baseball.
More to come. We'll be right back.
Stephanie Jaffe is a world-renowned artist who creates one-of-a-kind pieces. Using a keen sense of color and composition, her vibrant collages and mosaics integrate eclectic elements such as vintage keepsakes and fine china with blown glass and fired clay to create whimsical arrangements. For more information about her work, Come down to the Brooklyn Cafe TV studio or go to StephanieJaffeArt.com.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 855-348-5925. That's 855-348-5925. Again, 855-348-5925.
If you have diabetes, would you like to eliminate painful finger sticks? Are you injecting insulin multiple times per day? Then you may qualify for a continuous glucose monitor. CGMs monitor blood sugar using a small patch placed on your upper arm or abdomen, and they use your smartphone to accurately monitor your blood sugar levels. Stop pricking and start scanning. Plus, CGMs are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. They can be shipped free of charge to your door. Call today to see if you qualify.
Nobody likes to prick their fingers. If you are a diabetic using insulin like many of us, the worst part of your day is sticking your fingers to draw blood. Now you don't have to do it anymore. You can get a new continuous glucose monitor. As long as you check your blood sugar and inject insulin, it may be covered by your insurance. Call us and we'll let you know if you are covered, and send one at little or no cost to you with free shipping. Stop freaking your fingers. Call right now for your new continuous glucose monitor.
Introducing the Price is Right Home Sweepstakes. You could win the same kind of cash and prizes you see on the TV show. Just call this number right now. And when you call, ask about these amazing offers from our sponsors. Low Cost Airlines offers fares too low to advertise that you can't find anywhere else. You can save hundreds on your next flight with Low Cost Airlines. US Med is your one-stop resource for diabetic supplies. And if you have Medicare, you could get them at little to no out-of-pocket cost. US Med. MedGuard Alerts unique medical technology provides immediate help to seniors with the touch of one button. And you could get your device for free. MedGuard Alert. The United Breast Cancer Foundation can use the donation of your old car, truck, or van to help those fighting breast cancer. Pickup is free and you'll get a tax exemption. Call now to enter the Price is Right Home Sweepstakes. Win thousands in cash and prizes and learn more about these great offers.
Hey Kaylee, what's up?
Hey, nothing, what's up?
Nothing, just looking for music for Grandpa I listen to while we're in the car.
What's wrong with listen to now?
Let's just say we have different tastes, you know?
Why don't you try listen to a podcast on Spotify?
Like which one?
The Broken Cafe Studio one is really good.
Okay, I'll try that one out, thanks.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought. You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back with the Broken Bell.
Wes, what, your bell's going to be better than ever.
Oh, yes.
Better than ever, I got to tell you. It's pretty exciting what's going on.
It is. And the man, every time I talk to him, is another adventure.
You know, when Aaron was little, he played flag football, and then he ended up playing tackle through Spanish River High School.
I'm surprised you let him play.
I had no say. Thankfully, the concussion he got had a huge say when the neurologist said, you're done, you have a bleed in your brain. So that was the end of that.
What the hell did he hit?
Someone hit him.
At what age?
High school. Really? High school, Spanish River.
I don't know
Because
about
Spanish River football kids should not be playing Pahokee football kids. I can just tell you. They
Well, he
may
got
be
hit
the
by a
same
big kid?
age. Yeah, Jewish white kids from Boca should not be playing the kids that play in Pahokee and Belgrade. They're just not built
But
the same.
Pahoke's,
They're
they're
just not the
trucks.
same. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
they're
but
what
the
my son.
helmets nowadays are so good.
But when he was playing flag, the parents,
Yeah.
some of these kids in one of the West Boca leagues, they were freaking brutal. It was not about the kids
But that's
playing
flag.
It was not about the kids playing football. It was about being nasty. I've never seen lack of leadership, lack of camaraderie, lack of sportsmanship. This is what they were teaching their kids,
Those are intimidation tactics.
but they're yelling
You
at
want to
the.
win the game before you get on the
But
field.
what are you teaching your kids? By
Tactics.
the parents screaming nasty
That's
things.
just the coach's approach.
No, it wasn't the coach. It was the parents.
Oh yeah, the
In the
parents are.
stands, screaming, not the coaches. The parents
That's
were
all part of
screaming.
that's all part of the problem.
So this is what we were having this conversation during the break. We have to really focus in on what it is. And it takes me back to Haley, what you're doing. It's bullying, it's intimidation.
It's
we need to,
improper diet. It's lack of education. There's a lot of stuff that goes on into that.
you know, we're trying to raise kids to be the best citizens, the best human beings they can be, because they are going to hopefully elevate our society and this great country that we live in. And if we teach them hate, we teach them bullying, if that's acceptable, then what are we doing?
No, we don't teach hate and we don't teach bullying. We teach tactics. You
But
gotta
that's
remember,
why-
in sports, not everybody gets a trophy, though.
Yeah, but
I'm
you-
sorry,
you're-
it's built for winning.
I'm not discussing
and
the
winning.
team sports. I'm discussing the other side of the sports that Phil and I were talking about during commercial break.
Which is?
Sometimes people are trying to stop a positive process for their own greater good.
All the
For their
time.
own pockets.
No, all the time. Because they're so used to the corrupt system that's in
So
play.
we're losing the focus
They
of what
invented
this
the
is
corrupt
about.
system.
Of course.
That's the problem. And unfortunately in society, as a parent, I'm sitting here telling my son to do good and to treat people with respect. And my parents always had a certain level of expectation out of me when we would be in somebody's home and how to act and how to respect elders. And so all that instilled in my brain when I had children. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened in between that part, but we're not teaching that anymore. And, you know, it's not about hitting a child or discipline. It's about teaching them, talking to them, making them real. My son, a funny story, yesterday, he took a suction cup and he went like this to his head, and now he has a dot. So I said to my son, Dylan, I said, look, Dylan, I said, when we talk about smart choices, what do we talk about? So he says to me, he looked at me, he goes, yeah. I said, wait, when we talk about smart choices, what are we talking? Was that a smart, did you really truly think that was a smart choice? Because I wanted him to answer me, not with just what he thought I wanted to hear.
Right.
And he answered me. And I said, now we understand. If you do that, that's going to be the result. Your mother said now she's not taking you anywhere this rest of the week because you got a dot on your head.
And now your mother's going to yell at me.
And now your mother's going to yell at me.
With you,
No, she saw it first. I didn't even see
Well,
it.
you're lucky. You're lucky because at least he did that. Mine decided to stick a screwdriver in a light socket.
Yeah.
That was Freddie. He says, Dad, I wanted to see what would happen. Really? Really?
So, but they're kids and you get
They're
that.
kids.
But if you have a discussion with your child and you sit there and you say, what do we talk about about right choices and wrong choices? That's how you discipline. Is the not to get in your room and do this and do that. Have a conversation with your kids. We miss that.
Have the conversation.
It's funny that you say that because when I was in Pelham Bay Little League, I drafted Latino players. I drafted black kids. I drafted every kid based on, like here, we never said no, right? And what happened was the kids started to live in my house. There were kids staying in my house that I didn't even know were in the house because my kids decided to hide them up in the attic because there was bedrooms up there. And I said, what do you mean he's up there? And the funny thing is, I never sent a kid to their room. I wanted to hear the accountability of keeping them here. I wanted them to explain to me, like you did with your son, why you did what you did and the consequences to it. And putting them in a room or giving them that timeout situation doesn't teach them a lesson.
No, because you know what's in the room? The phone, the TV, the Xbox, where are they getting punished?
You
I
can
remember
even
my
lock them in a
parents,
closet and they're going to have
they
a
have
phone
something
in
to
there.
keep them active.
Of course. You got to say 12 steps
But what I love
ahead.
what Phil's doing, it's different. all of our perspectives of what you're doing is different. You're doing it for your reasons. I know how you see things. For me, I know I say every kid gets a trophy, but every kid gets a chance to be a kid with what you're doing.
Yes.
You get a chance to be with your family. The family's on that Saturday or Sunday to go out to the baseball field and come together, to put the phones down, to get off the computers, to stop cleaning your house. This is focused family time. It's like dinner time used to be, but it's not. So for me as a mom, that's what I love what you're doing. You're bringing families back outside, back together for the greater good, to stop the bullying, to encourage team sportsmanship. Because if you see something bad going on, you're going to go, no, no, this is not what we're about.
No, exactly.
Because there are teams that probably don't do certain right things.
No.
And you're going to say, you know what, that's not what this league is about. There are certain leagues, as we know, different leagues do different things.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm so impressed with what you're doing.
No, thank you. Yeah, you know, I talk to coaches every day now for the last month and a half, 2 months, over 150, 200 coaches in the area in Palm Beach County, Broward, Miami-Dade, all the way up to the Treasure Coast. And some of the things they ask me is like, you know, how many teams are going to be in your league, and you know, how are you going to separate the competition, A level, novice level, double A, triple A, whatever you want to call it. And I say, look, you know, I'm a baseball guy. I do this for a living. I'm an MLB agent. I don't like to watch blowouts. I like to watch good competition. But I also know that there can be, in good competition, there could be some coaches out there that are just chasing certain things for the wrong reasons. We're here to develop our kids. We're here to teach them, and we're here to educate them the best way we know how. And for me, if I'm at a tournament and somebody's supposed to be in the A level and they're, you know, playing against a double A team that shouldn't be playing against the A, I'm going to have an issue with that, because I don't want to see unfairness. I want these kids to come out and enjoy it. Nobody enjoys getting a score to 21-1. That's not fun for anybody. It's not fun for the families. It's not fun for the coaches. It's not fun for the kids. Yeah. I want this to be, look, things happen. They're kids. They're not always going to throw strikes. They're not always going to hit the ball well. But the competition should be as even playing field as possible. And that's what my goals are.
You know, it's funny you say that. My first year in travel, we won 6 games and lost 72.
Wow.
And
in 1 year?
The first year. We went on a lot. Freddie will tell you, I used to do a minimum of 80 games. This tournament thing that he's talking about.
How'd you do that?
I'll explain it later. So I found out that it wasn't about harping about
That's
losing.
more than a game a week.
We used to play a lot of games during the week. It wasn't about harping about losing. It was about finding a formula as to winning. Mm-hmm. So what I did was, and I was talking to Dylan about this. I had kids in the outfield. Now you gotta understand, you had to try out for this team, and you had to be good. But there was other issues going on. So I had coaches in the outfield that would talk to my outfielders to keep them in the game longer. So it starts there. I changed the diet on my players. Started there. I rented a gym in the winter because travel team for me started in the winter. And you had to work your way up until we started playing. You ever seen a hard ball hit on a gym floor? Mm-hmm. See how fast it comes at you?
It's turf.
So all of a sudden, I took my kids and I started to slowly teach them the speed of the game. Do you know why? Because what he just said back in the day was not a thing. You played against who came at you.
That's right.
This level, or this level did not matter. We never said no to anybody. So when we went out west to Little League World Series and we got beat 40-0, the coach looked at me, he circled the towel, he says, "You want to throw in?" He said, "No." And I told my kids, I said, "You're going to get this game?" "No, we're learning. That coach came over and he sat with my kids for an hour. He says, "I never seen a bunch of kids so determined." So they said to Coach, "Let's play again." Now we got beat again, but it wasn't 60-0.
You know,
it was
who
like
you
4-0.
Buttermaker. Do you remember Buttermaker?
Bad News Bears.
But I gotta tell you,
Buttermaker, you want to go back to you want to end this game right now? Your kid's out there picking his nose.
They would not quit.
That's good.
They would not quit. And they learned that it isn't about winning or losing. You see, like you said with the trophy, they didn't care about that. They care about all of them playing together.
But that's what this should be about.
And that's what this is going to learn to teach kids as well. But there was a diet involved in it. There was no and when you walked in school and you wore your colors, you took care of your players and you made sure that nobody else is getting bullied. This is what I used to love about the program, is that in the schools it was taking effect.
Well, tell us more about the program.
I'd love to. So Florida East Coast Travel League is going to be based out of Palm Beach County here in Boynton Beach, Florida. I have a great board of directors that are part of this, stemming all the way up from myself as the founder and then down to our president, who happens to be my son's coach in travel baseball, who I represented at one point in time during his career. And, you know, just a slew of great people that are sharing in the same vision that I'm sharing in. And that is to give back, to make, to make the game great again, to make baseball fun again, to make it about the kids and the experience. And the experience to me is exactly what is important. Like I said earlier, about making them feel like they're big leaguers when they're 10 or 11 years old. You know, and again, I'm a very big person on competition. I'm very competitive, but I also know that with being competitive, you can also have a good time and you can learn how to play. You can learn to win with integrity and lose with grace. You know, so there's a lot of things we can continue to keep teaching our children through athletics.
I like that. Win with integrity and lose with grace.
It's a good slogan. I like
That's
it.
a great slogan. That could be your tagline.
Yeah, I like it.
Because you're promoting what it is. It's competition. In life, there is competition. The rest of this life,
You gotta have a winner and a loser.
And you got to grow in competition, but good, clean competition is nice.
That's right. And again, talking about, you know, fair and, you know, and I'm with Freddie. We didn't have an A division, a B division, a C division, whatever. We had, hey, whoever's at the field that day, you're getting ready to play that.
That's who you're going to play.
So, but I understand that the reason why a lot of this is necessary now is because there's so many people playing the game. There's so many travel organizations out there. There's so many coaches, so many players. So you have to kind of really delegate it a little bit to where everybody's on an even playing field. So I'm okay with that now because it has grown so much, which is great. The game has grown, but we have to play it right. The game didn't change. We still hit the ball. We still throw the ball, catch the ball, all that stuff. We have to still play it with integrity, win with integrity, lose with grace. And
It's funny because the SEC, you go to Georgia. I went up to Georgia to see their football team. I saw them play FAU.
Right.
And I looked up at Georgia and looked down at FAU. And I looked up at Georgia. I says, this is their player, this is our player. And it was up to the coach to find a winning formula. Listen, the Heat have their hands full with the Denver Nuggets. Those guys all big at every division, every position, inches, feet. It's crazy.
But our crew is so excited. Josh says, so instead of going to commercial break, we're going to take it to the dugout and do the interviews with the kids and the coaches. So they are so excited in there.
I can't wait to have the kids mic'd up. I mean,
that's unreal.
When you watch Little League World Series, and a lot of my ideas have come from that because Little League set the format years and years and years and years ago, okay? We brought in the international teams and we brought in Japan and Korea. I'm bringing in international teams to play these kids. My connections run very deep in the international world, as you mentioned earlier. So I've talked to the Japan Little League organizations in Tokyo and in Sendai and everywhere else that they have Little League over there. And they're so excited about coming over because the only time they really come over here to play USA or over here is during Williamsport, which is in August, one time of year. So we're going to bring in Korea. We're going to bring in the Bahamas. We're going to bring in Curacao. We're going to bring in all these different organizations, not only from an international standpoint, but really grow this. We are now USSSA sanctioned. I'm so proud to say that. This is something that USSSA...
What does that mean for people who don't know what that means?
So USSSA is a youth development. It hosts tournaments all around the state, all around the United States. Their headquarters is in Melbourne, Florida. They have a huge complex called Space Coast, and it's beautiful fields, all turf fields, great competition, great times. The kids love it. They feel like pros when they're there. So we've attached ourselves to them. They've attached themselves to us. They've never had a league in this area that has really been a true league. They've had a lot of tournaments, but they haven't had a tournament in Palm Beach County since 2015. We're the first to bring it back.
I used to do those tournaments with USA. I'll never forget that. And we used to go. We went to South Carolina. We went to Jersey. And I talked to Gio. He says, yeah, Gio was the bad boy. And Freddie was the player. And he says, yeah, we used to go everywhere. And there were stadiums. They used to play in these stadiums. And the kids had a phenomenal experience. That's really what it was all about.
Maybe Haley can write a book, Charlie Plays Baseball.
Never
and
know,
what it's
maybe.
like to be a penguin playing baseball, right? So it's not about exclusion.
You got
it's about
no hands.
inclusion. You find a way.
That's right. There's no I in team.
That's right.
You know, you find a way for the penguin to play baseball, or travel baseball.
Yeah.
I'm very serious. I've had a lot of people that have approached me, and I was saying to you when we first met that I've got told no a gazillion times already. I was told I never would become an agent. I was told I would never make it in this industry. I was told, you're crazy, you're going up against this person, you're never going to beat them. When I got told no, it drove me harder. So that's my passion, that's my drive. And truthfully, I didn't play at a high level. I didn't play college. I didn't play pro. But I had a passion and a love for the game. And teaching it and giving my knowledge and giving my time as a volunteer. I did that for 10 years and never took a dime. Now I do make my living off of baseball at the major league level. But when it comes to kids, I don't make a dime. I'm always there for kids. I have kids of my own, as I've mentioned. And I would like to write a book one day because my story is unique. And I try to tell kids, especially my own and kids that I come across, that if you really, truly, I don't want to sound cliche-ish, but if you really put your mind to something, you can do it. And if you step away from the bullies and be positive about yourself and really believe in what you can do in life, you can do it. You can accomplish it. It's not cliche.
100%. So
and
true.
I think that's at any age, which makes me think about Rita, right? Changing and pivoting. And as you're still young, and then you're a little older, we're a lot older. And as you retire from one job, but your message stays the same, right? Empowerment, or what it looks like, what you want to do with the rest of your life to make a positive impact. And that's the thread that goes through.
See, but I like what Rita does, because you get it done, and then you move on to the other challenge, and then you move on to the other challenge.
And just like you were saying about the challenges, every time that we have an obstacle, it's just a way for us to learn how to do it better. The obstacle is here. Okay, so how do I do this, or how do I go there? But obstacles are there to just make us smarter, more intelligent, more patient, more tolerable, and step out of your everyday thing and find another way to do it.
Absolutely.
You know,
I call them hurdles. Obstacles are great too.
Yeah.
I'm short. I don't jump over hurdles very well, but I jump them over when anybody tells me no.
Well, you jump under it. Jump is a jump. I used to love going to the mound when the game was on the line and the infield used to come in, and I used to say, anybody got an answer?
We're going to get you to coach again.
Oh, man, people have asked me. And I used to say, anybody,
you'll be like the honorary coach.
Anybody got an answer? And they used to say, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And I used to tell the pitcher, can you do that?
Right.
And he used to look at his kids and he said, I can do that. And 9 out of 10 times it used to work out because they were coming up with the answer. I mean, I used to dictate this and this is what we're going to do, but they came up with the answer. You know, you learn from failing.
But you coach every day in here. You've taken all that knowledge and you coach our crew every day.
Well, I get coached. They teach me.
Well, yes, everyone's teaching each other, but things that you have to say when you motivate. This morning you had another conversation with somebody, and it's still, you tease me that I say everyone gets a trophy. It still breaks your heart when we have to tell someone it's not working the right way.
It ain't working this way, but it's going to work that way.
But you never say no.
I can't.
You
There
say
is no
we're going
no.
to find another way to make this work out.
There is no no.
Did you coach with your fedora or a regular hat?
I always had a regular hat. Do you know that my kids had to wear their names?
I know you guys.
They got their names on the helmets or their jerseys because I can't remember names. True
Always
story.
honest.
True
I can
story.
be a penguin. So if you want to just put me in as a penguin and write my story, I'm good. Because I'm short and I can do the waddle too.
Okay, I'll make a note of that.
You know, Charlie the Penguin plays Travel League Baseball.
That's right.
You know,
Eli
sometimes
Manning, that's
it's the
You heard
story. It's the story that in order to teach the lesson, you have to teach the story.
Josh wants to coach.
Oh, sure. I want to
Go, Josh.
There you go, Josh.
We all could use good coaching.
Just remember, don't write a check you can't cash because when you start coaching, there ain't taking days off There ain't days to say I don't want to, and when it rains, you got to play until the umpire says no game.
He says, okay, bet.
I told you, I just went back to coaching after 14 years. I hadn't coached since I became an agent because I wasn't allowed to. And then with the new CBA, they changed the rules.
You're allowed to coach
And now
now?
I'm allowed to coach as long as it's not high school or college. And
Little
because I
league.
don't have enough on my plate, I decided to coach again.
There you go.
I remember I
If you
was
give up sleeping, you
I'm
get a
doing-
lot
I'm
done,
coaching
right?
this weekend. What's that?
Give up sleeping, you get a lot done.
3 hours.
I was in East Tremont, and I met the head coach of the team. And he says to me, Freddie, I go, yeah. And he gives me the nameplate. He says, here, you're the new head coach. I went, what are you talking about? I've never been a head coach. He says, I know, but I just got a new job in California. I'm on my way to the airport. So here are the balls. Here's the bat bag. Here's the good luck. And he leaves. And I'm in the middle of East Tremont. I sit there for 20 minutes. Is what the hell am I going to do with a team? And that's what started a 22-year career.
Buttermaker.
Oh my God.
That's right.
That's
He's totally Buttermaker.
You're totally.
I'm Italian. It was shocking.
Our crew probably doesn't even know that movie, but you
No,
got to
it's
check
Bad
that
News
out,
Bears.
Josh. Bad News
The
Bears.
original, not the one
The
with
original,
The
the
original with
astronaut.
Walter Matthau.
And the astronaut.
Great
Sometimes
movie.
I feel like some of our crew were the best.
Kelly Leak. Kelly Leak with the third one.
It was the best movie. I took my teams to watch movies before every season started.
So the city of Boynton Beach has asked me to do a couple of different things and, give back programs or, bring economic boost. So I want to do a movie night for the kids on one of the tournaments too, prior to the game starting and all that stuff. And we're going to do home run derbies. We're going to do all kinds of different things. But hopefully a fireworks show if they give me the permit for that. But
Can we
one
talk
of-
about your facility?
Yeah, we can talk whatever you want. I mean,
I don't know what's out, what's not out.
everything's out.
permissible.
That's why everybody's
Exactly.
picking on me because everything's out now.
Bad News Bears. That's it. There's Buttermaker.
There it
There
is.
you go.
Oh, I love that picture. That's a great one. When they're pouring the beer on his head.
Fill everyone in on what you are building with the city of Boynton Beach.
Yeah, so 3 years ago during COVID, I returned back to the same fields that I played on at East Point Little League and decided that it needed a good remodel. I came up with an idea to put a 28,000 square foot facility, state of the art, with the best technology in the world and the best trainers in the world inside the building. 3 years in the making. I finally got approved in November of 2022, which I'm very, very proud about. All my votes were unanimous, every single one. The commissioners, the mayor, the vice mayor, everybody's on board. They love the project. It's going to bring a great economic boost. You're talking about over 150 to 300 teams at one time, potentially in the city of Boynton, hotels, restaurants, so the whole entire community with the league and the building, returfing the fields is something we're going to be doing too. New scoreboards, digital marquee signs. I mean, again, and that's why I said, I don't understand how is that a bad thing? It's what I would have loved somebody to step up when I was a kid to play on a field like that and have a facility like that. And I'm doing this. Look, I've told people a million times, I don't have $7 million in my pocket, but I'm going to do it. And when I do it, I'm going to take on the responsibility of that $7 million. And if it fails, it's on me. So why are we talking bad about it? Let's talk positive about it. We want people to come. But
Are you looking for investors? Are you looking for sponsorship? Is there any way that people can help with either FLETL or the new facility?
FLETL is actually a non-for-profit. My company that did the lease for the facility and the ground lease at the East Point Little League Park is a for-profit. So from a sponsorship standpoint for the non-for-profit, absolutely. We're going to be giving out scholarship awards for these kids that play in our programs, okay, and do our tournaments. I want to give out scholarships. I want to give out whatever it takes to help kids that either A, can't afford to go to school, or B, can't afford to play. They're going to play, okay? My mission statement when I first started this was no kid gets left behind. I've watched very good athletes never be able to play the sport of baseball because their parents couldn't afford it. So for me, that meant the world. I had vendors that have chipped in, given baseball gloves, baseball bats, all for free to give to the kids, 44 Pro gloves, a huge company that's part of Major League Baseball now and in the youth community as well with baseball gloves has become a sponsor of ours. Dovetail Bats, USSSA now with their franchise tag and partnership. So as far as my building is concerned, going through SBA loans. I'm doing whatever it takes. And like I said, I've never told anybody, hey, I got $7 million. I'm going to blow it right now on this facility. I've never said that. I've said, you let me build this, they will come. And I'll find the money to do it. So Field of Dreams, Bad News Bears, whatever you want to call it, you build it, they will come. I promise you they will come. I'll find it.
How do people find you and the website, all the information?
Well, I'm up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't sleep. So
He
you can
doesn't.
find me anywhere.
He doesn't.
561-523-6733 is my personal cell phone number. Call me. Don't be a spam call. Just be a regular call. We all hate the spam calls. Be on board with the mission that I have, which is to help. Call me anytime. You can reach me at phil@fletl.com for the non-for-profit. I'm on social media, Phil Turano. I'm everywhere. So, and I'm really involved heavily with my children, so I'm always out at the fields. And when I'm not working and or not with my kids, I'm working out on the fields coaching, or I'm running my MLB PA license as a certified agent with MLB. My pro guys are playing currently right now. We're getting into the heart of the season. All-Star games coming up. I just did a deal for the Bat Boys with Gatorade. So I'm doing everything, but I'm enjoying my life. Everything I set out to do, I'm accomplishing. And I still have more to do. This legacy is going to be for my kids.
Rochelle just texted in. They said that the movies of Lake Worth host 300 kids at your disposal.
Let's go see a movie. I just saw Fast 10. It was pretty good.
There you go. Perfect. Haley, how do people find your books and your programs?
So if anyone wants to purchase any of the books or the programs, you can log on to my website, which is www.charlietakesанadventure.com. If you want to have me come out to your facility to speak, you can reach out to me directly, which is 561-302-8520. If you're thinking of, you have the idea for the next best-selling book, you can go to www.haley, that's Haley, Marguerite, MARGUERITE.com.
All right, and for you, Miss Rita.
So if you're interested in the diabetes prevention program at Holy Cross Hospital or about Opportunity International, you can call me at 561-202-4357. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. But also, most important, go ahead and check out www.opportunityinternational.org and subscribe to their newsletter and donate. Every dollar that you donate turns out to be like 10, so it's going to help. And I'll be more than happy to answer any of your calls.
Then hopefully we're going to be doing some work with Rita on the Latino stations, and maybe even Friday nights with the New View. We're going to be talking about that as well.
That'd be interesting.
So you'll be able to find her here. We have to sort of put together what we're going to be doing as well.
So Haley, thank you for the introduction.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Phil, congratulations.
Thank you.
Our crew is excited. This one's going to be out in the field interviewing. Josh is going to be coaching.
Josh is
Maybe
gonna be
looking for
coaching.
a new crew. I don't know.
Can I tell people about your involvement?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, the other day I spoke with my good friends here at the Brooklyn Cafe, and you guys are going to be involved 100%. I'm so excited to have you involved. We're going to do great things together, and so thank you for your willingness to help kids and to be involved and to do interviews and be out there at the tournaments and live stream and do all the great things that we're going to do for these kids. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it really means a lot to me. Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Sometimes I wonder how you and I even work together, because we're so different, but yet we have commonalities, and it's always about the kids.
You can go around the mountain, or you can go up the mountain, but you're still going to get to the top of the mountain.
But it's always about the kids and doing better and hope and empowerment, all the things that we hope we can make a better place. And there's Josh. More to come. Tune in today to the Wisdom Cafe at 3 o'clock with Arthur Castanello. Have a great Wednesday, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
Don't be late.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.